Okay, so now that it has officially been made official that Aaron Rodgers has torn his Achilles, he will be out for the remainder of the season, and ultimately, this could be the end of his career. That I don't know the exact rehab time frame for an Achilles injury, but from what experts are saying, it is one of the most difficult injuries to rehab. Basically, you're trying to strengthen that to learn how to just walk again and be normal in your daily life, but to take that rehab to a whole nother step and being able to get your lower leg and foot to be able to compete at a high level in the National Football League, that could be a very long and difficult rehab journey. And at this point in time, it's unknown whether Rodgers is gonna want to hang it up, or if he's even going to want to go through the rehab to try to get back and play next season. I know he had initially reported that he was willing to make a multiple year commitment to the Jets. I don't know if this injury and the rehab journey is going to change that, but let's talk about the ramifications that not only the Jets are going to feel from this, but really the entire NFL fan base and the Green Bay Packers, how it's going to affect all of them. So for the Jets, Rodgers brought a real chance of relevance to the Jets, a team that's been irrelevant for a very long time. Yes, I know they made back-to-back AFC championships with Mark Sanchez and Rex Ryan, about a little over a decade ago. But even then, they were wild card teams getting into the playoffs. They weren't really relevant in the division because the Patriots were, and the Jets have a really very talented young defense. I mean, it's one of the better defenses in the league, and they proved it last night by creating turnovers, keeping the score low, not letting Buffalo score, and it really goes to show that with Aaron Rodgers, he didn't even have to be great for the Jets to win because their defense was so good. But the rest of the team really showed how talented they are with the running game last night, the brilliant catch by the wide receiver, the defense, the special teams, and if Aaron Rodgers could have been 80% of the MVP quarterback that he's been in the past, the Jets had a chance to win every game they played this year. So, as a Jets fan, I am not a Jets fan, but Jets fans, they should feel extremely robbed by the loss of Aaron Rodgers because they had a real chance to do something they haven't done since the late 60s and get to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. As a Green Bay fan and an Aaron Rodgers fan, it's devastating because he's been a great player for a very long time, and he's been one of my favorite players of all time. And to see his career possibly end 4 snaps into a new team when he was so excited, he was doing all the right things for the Jets, and he was doing things he didn't do for Green Bay, and I don't fault him for that. I don't think Green Bay and the management treated him the way they should have. So with him going to the Jets and doing all the right things, I don't have an issue with that. But I hate seeing his career possibly end that way. I hate seeing his season end that way. And as a Green Bay fan, I really wanted him to play the majority of the season because that would bump the second round pick we're getting from the Jets next year to a first round pick. And having 2 first round picks next year would be phenomenal because that's a chance to add 2 great talents to your football team. So I'm definitely devastated in that aspect of it as well. I know I've seen videos, and I know there's people out there that are doing it, but there's videos and posts of Packers fans cheering and happy that Rodgers hurt himself. That's classless by any means. There's no player in the NFL that could go out there and get hurt and I would cheer about it. Like I'm I'm not against any team in the NFL. The only teams I actively root against are my division rivals. But Justin Fields, Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, anybody on the Lions, the Bears, or the Vikings could go out there and get hurt, and I would not cheer about it. I would not be happy about it. I would be happy about the prospect of it making the division easier for Green Bay to win, but I'm not going to cheer because someone gets hurt. That's classless, and that's not the kind of football fan I am. That's not the kind of Green Bay fan that I am. So I think that's a really bad look, and it's casting a bad light on Packers fans. That's definitely not something I agree with, or I'm not about that. So, as like I said, as a Green Bay fan, it's devastating to not have that first round pick. But as an NFL fan and the entire NFL fan base, they should really feel robbed, because we're going to miss out on a lot of great football games this year with this injury. The Jets were supposed to go to Dallas next week. We're going to see two of the better defenses in the league go head to head with potentially two very good offenses. We get to see Aaron Rodgers, who's four-time MVP, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play, against a very talented Dallas defense. And on the flip side of that, you were going to see a very talented defense and see what Dak and the new look offense with Mike McCarthy calling plays, what they do against a top defense. So for both fan bases, that would have been a great test of their teams, and it would have been a great matchup to watch. Obviously, we missed out on a Monday Night Football game with the Bills, with Rodgers not playing. There's a rematch with the Bills we would miss out on. 2 games with Miami, who's going to be a top team in the AFC. 2 games against New England. But outside of that, there's several other games. They were going to play Cleveland later in the season. Cleveland, I think, at the very end of the season, and Cleveland could have been in contention for their division in the playoffs, which would have made for a good matchup. There's a matchup with the Chiefs in a few weeks. They were going to play the Chargers, both great AFC teams. There was the rematch game and the revenge game against the Broncos with the comments Sean Payton made about Nathaniel Hackett. There was, as an NFL fan and just a fan of the game, there was a lot of good games that we're now going to miss out on because of this injury. So this was a loss not only to the Jets, the New York sports market, the Packers. It's a loss for the entire league. And anyone that's happy about it, cheering about it, like I said, they're classless, and it just shows what kind of character they have, what kind of person they are. But it's hard to put into words how devastating it is to see that kind of injury. So, especially at the end of his career, could be the end of his career now. So, hopefully he's willing to put in the effort to go down the road to rehab, and hopefully he can come back, and hopefully we can see him next year. But if not, it's been a great career. I'm thankful to have had him in Green Bay for as long as he was there. I'm thankful for what he did for Green Bay, getting them a Super Bowl and helping them be relevant for the last 15 years, winning 4 MVPs. But it's just a sad day for the NFL.